your attention, I'd like to talk to you today about sexually transmitted infections and how to be sure you're having safe sex. You may be saying to yourself, I know all about safe sex. I don't need you to tell me about it. As a teen, I grew up with two younger sisters and have listened to the safe sex speech multiple times. For just over 2 years, I have worked with over 90 youth, and with most of them, I have had the talk. What I find most scary is, as though this is not a large number of youth compared to the world, I have consistently heard false teachings within this group. They are young adults just like you. Sometimes I frequently tell my kids, if you're not ready to be a mom or dad, don't have sex. Abstinence is the only sure way to know if you're not going to be a mom or dad. However, it is my experience that most of you will not choose this. So let's talk about safe sex and what STIs are. Safe sex is making sure you do not put yourself at risk of getting a sexually transmitted infection, or commonly called STI. Let's cover the most common STIs. There's chlamydia, HIV, HPV, gonorrhea, syphilis, and herpes. According to the Center for Disease Control, 10 million young people between 15 and 24 will contract an STI this year. The CDC also states that there are more than 110 million infections, new and old, at any given time in the United States. You may be asking yourself, how do I know if I've gotten an STI? There are many signs of an STI. Common signs for an STI are unusual discharge, strange growths, sores, redness, and pain in urination. If you have any of these symptoms, stop having sex and see your doctor. What if you don't have any of the symptoms? Just because you don't have any symptoms doesn't mean you're in the clear. Some STIs can take up to 6 months before you can detect them. If you have unprotected sex of any kind, be responsible and go get tested. There are good news though. Some STIs are preventable, but the most effective way is to just cover up. I am sure you have heard many of the sayings out there, such as wrap it before you tap it, or no glove, no love. And while these are funny sayings, they just might be what keeps you from getting an STI. I will not go into detail, but I would like to remind you that you should cover up for any, and I mean any, kind of sexual activity. There are one more thing you can do to prevent STIs. Talk with your partner about your past experiences and theirs. You must be honest to be safe. If there's any doubt, get tested together. And there's a candy bar story with Hershey candy bar. Is if you open a new Hershey's candy bar and ask how many people would like a bite, multiple people will raise their hand immediately. Sooner or later, it will get passed around, and at one certain point, it could be long down the road, but there will be a time when people will stop wanting it. This is to point out that all those people that have taken a bite are now share the same sexual history. Also, the more times it is handed around, the less desirable it will become. Today I'm encouraging you to be responsible if you choose to engage in sexual activities. Remember, safe sex is making sure you do not put yourself or anyone else in harm's way. STIs can be prevented and some are treatable. But to make sure that you don't have to deal with any of these, just don't be silly and protect the willy. That's fine.